Okay, one of the things is really weird thing. I've got this incredible. You gotta start. You gotta shave. You gotta put on a dress shirt. You gotta wear blazers. It's a weird situation. It's like I'm the kind of person wake up in the morning and you need literally a wife after having day sex. And I like gratuitous sex, but we're gonna have at least one person. It's called a insurance policy, security policy. It's one of these sort of things. You have to have someone in there where it's like you wake up and then it's just you just go down on it, and this is day sex. This is the sun coming through the window, and you don't want Dave Matthews Band. You don't want ants marching. There's a song, Ants Marching. I don't know why I've been thinking about Dave Matthews Band, but it's ants marching. This is a terrible shirt. I don't like it. This is a terrible. I don't like it. I just the people that do that, you look like proud boys. There's nothing wrong with, but I have to say, these are the I love you so very much, and you have to go home people, and they go home so they can grow up. By the way, the thing with good parenting is dads out there. If you're a dad, I'm a dad. I'm a father to all, like a priest. Now don't. Okay, I'll keep my young children away from them. When my face ends up like Bob McDermott in that classic Silver classic, I like to remind people about it. Kono Choices tobacco. It's like, I am so concerned for you, but I don't joke about that because I've exposed the problems with Kono Choices and how it slows down time, and all of a sudden, and I think I'm going to give you another example that when a girl starts masturbating, she's ruffling her feathers, she's going to have a boyfriend in the next couple of days. I guarantee you're going to see him around the house. But okay, now we have personal stimulator, methods of masturbation, and literally, like I said, it's a Let's Go Brandon. I'm going to direct you to it. That's the thing with Let's Go Brandon. I sort of outline what makes it so haunting and terrifying for a liberal. You can see the way that this story emerged out of driving a race car. A liberal person can't drive a race car. A liberal person can't handle exercising their Second Amendment rights like I exercise my First Amendment rights. And that's why they have to Let's Go Brandon. And they literally initiate a series of triggers with a Let's Go Brandon to enjoy the feeling of their clitoris being stimulated by a penis moving in and out of her vagina. Enjoy the feeling of their penis being stimulated by what is basically sweat inside of the vagina. And so it creates a Let's Go Brandon situation. That was the problem with Kono Choices. Actually, it wasn't so much Christianity, it wasn't so much, but this is what happens. You end up at a nightclub, you end up at a bar, you end up in situations where you kind of know innately this is the time to grab her. You have to grab her. Literally, that's all it is. If Donald Trump, I don't like him for a lot of reasons. I'm going to tell you one of them. Grab her by the pussy is one of, but this is really one of the people we have to look at, and that's why I brought up Proud Boys, and I'm going to direct you to that Boto site of mine. I call it a Boto site. You have to look at the Boto site, understand the Boto site. There's a lot of value in that information, because if that's what you are. But I hate the way I look. I hate this. And if you do not move quickly enough to it's full dementia that's at work here, and that's a very, very bad thing. And that's why we have to get in there and have a full, complete North Star, not a fractured North Star. Like, that's what does. Knowing you're not worth it, knowing you can't reproduce, knowing you're someone that shouldn't be ejaculating in a vagina to produce a child, actually, so how do you get rid of that insight becomes a very important question. And actually, this comes down to IQ, because there actually is a knowledge level / cognition level where you can run that whole fractured North Star. And we're going to get into that concept. It's very esoteric. What happens when you know that you shouldn't reproduce? You're not going to go make that move. So you got to believe you're giving a girl a pregnancy experience. And pregnancy experience isn't like rich family experience. Here's the beauty of it. Rich family experience, that's when Jack Black goes in and, as I've learned, some of these kids call it C-robbing. Jack Black goes in and C-robs music. C-robs. Adam Sandler goes in and does it this way. And it was right around the time I was writing several very, very key manuscripts for some very important books, and I completed them, and people came in and stole them from me, stole my computers and all of this. There's a horrible thing about not having an enterprise account. They suck your resources, because these are very powerful things. They're beautiful things. When you read them, they actually alter economic reality. They alter the fabric of time to enable brain cells to regenerate, to enable the human being to literally piece himself back together. So what happens is, now you should not be giving a woman a pregnancy experience. You shouldn't reproduce a child because you're not a Navy SEAL. Basically, you could never be trained to be a Navy SEAL sniper. You're weak inside. You have a demented soul. By the way, I wanted to talk about Tupac Shakur. That's all I wanted to come on and talk about. We have to go on this tangent now. We'll bring up the Boto site there for you. But That's the horrible thing about it. You go, I shouldn't give her pregnancy. All of a sudden, you punch the mirror, which is simultaneously punching the window. The window of the mirror, you punch it, boom. And the weird thing is you punch the window because you're looking in the mirror and you don't like what you see. So punch it out. And strangely enough, the universe is perfect in every way, and this window cracks. You see, and it's a perfect cross right down the middle. It's a limit. It's a windowsill, and you've got, it's a liminal. The windowsill is the liminal part of it. And it's down. That's a plus sign. Now you turn that 45 degrees to the right. That you punch the window again, and you punch the window again, and you crack the window again, and somehow it's a multiplication sign. So you've already broken this into pieces. And I took that picture at Aloha Tower. Of the nautical compass just under Aloha Tower, and I think they had described that in their early 90s. We're taking a look at it there. That's what happens. But there's a way to walk it back. To give a girl a pregnancy experience. As the perfect man that you are. Chosen to reproduce the master race, basically. So you can go into these establishments and move on females that way to make a baby. But I want to talk about Tupac Shakur, and that's what it's all about. This is about moving forwards and backwards in time, and speaking of Rosetta Stones, it's about Kairos rather. We're going to be looking at actually, the song I brought up, the Dyke Bridge, Chappaquiddick stuff. This is full Ted Sick Family, Ted Kennedy, Chappaquiddick, do Ted Kennedy kind of stuff. Sung by Leanne Womack. I hope you dance. The problem with that song is either the way you piece the broken window back together, or the way you punch it 2 times to crack it, to go in and give a girl a pregnancy experience, to defeat, and simultaneously that defeats the reality of your mental inferiority, and all of a sudden you're starting to function in gamma, and you can start doing these things. Actually, you're a strong person, and you're sucking in the reality that these Navy SEALs, that these snipers, even later in life, are working with, and are incredibly observant with. So you're a strong person now, and you're cracking every other window. You're shattering glass all around you. That thing was Shattered Glass. Shattered Glass. Remember Shattered Glass? That movie about Stephen Glass? Like he starts crying, and they're worried he's going to kill himself because he lied about everything. Truth. There's a problem that truth creates. Shattered glass all around you. Oh, break the ceiling is what, feminism, break the ceiling. Hell yeah. Whoever you are, whatever your sex is, whatever your race is, Micronesian, Filipino, Caucasian, Portuguese. It's beautiful women that so here you come to Hawaii, and it's for generations. You look at them, and they sort of pass as pretty girls from San Diego, but it's a unique breed. And welfare touched them, unfortunately, decades ago, and it was lava housing, situations where they just started gaining all this weight, drinking 6-packs of beer with welfare money. Guys would come by that were failures as Marine Corps. They're beautiful. They're beautiful, beautiful Portuguese girls, and I saw one of them. She was wearing a Gas Pro shirt. She was driving one of the Gas Pro cars out of this area. So that's a pretty cute little tank of gas they got there. And riding shotgun with that guy. She's no Hannah Strick, daughter of Debbie Mahone type, but she is definitely something incredibly palazzo. So here's what we're gonna do. We're going to talk about Tupac Shakur, so very important. And this is what we're going to get into. We're going to be talking about this over the next week on the Skyland. This is Radford High School, Admiral Arthur. By the way, this is Hawaii. It's not paradise for a lot of people for a lot of reasons, because you have to wear a shirt like this, and it's just not the look for me. This is the kind of shirt to date someone that, by the way, I looked on the back of it. It says consequences. Like, that's what you get. That's the kind of girl that there's consequences, son. By the way, I was going to say, so good fathers never take the bike away. That's how you know. Because they're going to ground the kid, and you're going to put him on detention. You're going to take away banana, even. You're going to take away PlayStation. You're going to take away free time. But one thing you never take away is the bike. And people that are in business will reprogram their minds, no matter who their parents actually were, to have a father that never takes away the bike. Because when you have a bicycle, you'll feel the power of the bike was such a gay ad. I didn't like it. I really didn't like it because you look at it This was the National Bikers Coalition. This is what they were using to push complete streets in Honolulu some time ago. I really didn't like it. You feel the power of the bike, but by the way, that's like a Pono choices thing. Feel the power of the bike. Feel the power of the Let's Go brand. And penis erects, and the whole process begins. Images flow through the mind. It's the glandular experience. It's ready to happen. It's penetrating. It's in the vagina. So the clitoris is being stimulated right up there. That's the problem with Pono choices. Feel the power of the bike. No. The reason Dad doesn't take the bike away is because if you hate Dad enough, that's a damn good thing. And by the way, at the age of 14 or 15, I guarantee you're not getting back home. If you ride that bike, and you will know what to do in society. You will take $100 off of people through legitimate means, and you'll keep your promises to them. And over a period of, let's say, 2 weeks to a month, you will make more money than any other 14-year-old that goes to your school, especially these days where they don't encourage child labor laws, and you'll break away from family. You'll be fucking 21-year-olds, 22-year-olds. This is what Alex Jones talks about. I was doing it with 23-year-olds when I was 14. There's value to that. That's why Dad don't take the bike away. So my advice to you is, Dad don't take the bike away, and if Dad took the bike away, you better get cracking on uncracking that mirror. But we're going to talk about Tupac Shakur. That's what it's about this entire week on the Sky, Land, and Sea series on Sky, Land, and Sea. This is full Navy, full Air Forces, full military, full respect to military. We go onto these bases. They bring you onto these bases, and you've got a situation where you're Radford High School. You're 14 years old, and there's just this beautiful, beautiful young woman. She's NJROTC over there. Her name's Clarissa, and Eleanor Stiller has decided she's going to wait to date you, even though she's fucked up on Europe perfectly. And you went to the CIA and said, how do I get a trust fund set up in my own apartment so I can start doing it with one of your agents, your CIA agents there that's fucked up on Europe perfectly, like that. Eleanor Stiller there, what we're talking about. So we're going to have to take a little break and get used to Clarissa Clock, and they bring you into the military housing right down there across from the barracks at Pearl Harbor, across the Nimitz Highway. And you're going to go in there and you're going to have dinner with Clarissa Clock's dad, who just so happens to be an admiral based at Pearl Harbor Hickam Air Force Base when you're a sophomore in high school. And so that's what we're going to go into. We're talking about Tupac Shakur. It's his full welfare culture. Tupac Shakur, Biggie Smalls. Tupac Shakur, Biggie Smalls. Tupac Shakur, Biggie Smalls. It is a big deal. We remember the deal. And I'm going to be shoring up a report for you today, and we're going to be talking about the beauty of this incredible, like a double helix, interlocked, Biggie Smalls and Tupac. We all know Tupac Shakur was a little bit of a fake, and I think what outed him for a lot of people was, you look at where he was born. What outed him for a lot of people was, the reality of the socioeconomic conditions. Party in California. He was from, where he was from. He was from full, basically, upper privilege. What outed him was Elton John. And that was one of the best songs of Tupac Shakur, actually. It was Ghetto Gospel. Peace to this young warrior without the sound of guns. And the mythology embedded into Ghetto Gospel is the full welfare story, and it is one that we cannot forget. And that's the beauty of full welfare criticism, the full welfare mythology, and the full welfare story. It's a very beautiful thing. We have to understand it in order to move past it and to have a lot of money. But, just like Jesus is a sad story because we can't let our friend die, so we're going to be in denial. It's actually a story about, I hate psychology, right? You can't let psychology bring you down and therapy bring you down. These people lower the size of your ego to stop you from making this much more money. But the truth about the Jesus and the Gospels is that it is a lesson in overcoming grief. And the answer is actually full denial, because you can't let your friend die. So he's going to come back in 3 days and give you everything as an undisputed winner. What could you do? But I think what outed Tupac for me, and what sort of led me down that line of questioning when we talk about Shakur and the welfare classics, the welfare canon of pop culture, as I would call it, that includes Rodney King. Why can't we all just get along? That amazing moment on CNN. This is such a part of LA streets, Brooklyn basement, right? Higher up in the Brooklyn basement, and that's Biggie Smalls' side of the family, Machiavelli, right? Machiavelli, and the mythology is embedded into that. That now, and this is what we're going to talk about. We're going to fill it in with more details. We have a beautiful production for you coming up this week. But what he does, that's the whole Machiavelli, fake my own death. There's an aspect of it where you have to fake your own death to help the ones you love. And there's an aspect of where you have to, as living in an area where people are being shot all the time, and Biggie Smalls, life after death, there he is up against that. Hurts there, right? But in order, to live in a world where funerals are happening all around you, where because of the gang and the street life and thug life, you can be shot right in the head that way. Just eating a sandwich, your cup of water spilling. And by the way, there's so much symbolism in that. We'll wait on it with the cup of water spilling, right? I mean, just life itself overflowing, and that's all there was, but it overflows, and now it's spilled out of the cup. So in a weird way, every mother now, since their son is likely to be killed in that way, might as well adopt someone else's son, or adopt a motherless son. There's a beauty to that, and that's why we're going to look at this and we're going to study it to be multimillionaires. Because the world shouldn't be that way anymore. People have elevated beyond that, but that's the thing with it, is you talk about literature and culture, people get English degree, what a waste of time. You study Gospels too, biblical, and that's the thing with the Jesus stories. Do we not read that anymore, even though we now all have a lot of money and the devil is a better person to follow? No, there's a lot of beauty in that story. There's a reason to go back, and it does indeed take you back to square one. And in fact, square one is a place where you didn't punch the window 2 times. Not even once. Meth, not even once. Right? And there is a way to travel back in time. It has to do with Kairos. Madeline L. Lincoln. A Wrinkle in Time. Little hint for you. Camelot. We all have to know Jackie. Right? But to embody strength and virtue. Jackie hooks us all up with a job if you get an English degree. That's the thing. You work at the publisher, work at the magazine. But to embody strength and virtue, you have to be completely weak and lacking in virtue. No choices. To have sexual intercourse, you have to be a completely dead person. So that's what outed me with Tupac. Was the Joseph Campbell Hero with 1,000 Faces mosaic, you would say. He's a street hero. I could never hope to be him because I wear a suit. My suit is a cape. I do work. And we're going to talk about that this week. And the Brooklyn basement. See you around.